Well, hello everyone. I see we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 of you in here. So welcome. I am Brenda Dickman and I teach in Buffalo, Minnesota. I am a business teacher, and one of the things that I teach in my classes is graphics and Microsoft the suite. And when we ended up doing distance learning this spring, many of the kids do not have those programs. So we had to do a little bit of a switch, and we weren't able to jump into like Office 365, and we didn't have online apps for like Photoshop and animations and that type of stuff. So we modified my classes to be online apps, is what we actually called it. And I ran into a few that I use regularly, or not regularly, but here and there in my own classes, that I thought maybe I should teach my students these so that they could start using them. And what I found was the students really enjoyed 3 of the apps that we covered, and so I thought I would share those with you since the students found engagement with them. And what I would say for all 3 of these is they kind of could be a replacement for Google Slides or Google Docs. And that's one of the comments that many of the students made, was that these are much more entertaining or engaging or even easier or nicer to use than Google. And we are a Google school, so we do everything in Google Docs, Google Slides, and that type of thing. So it was good to hear that from the students, and hopefully if you find one of these 3 to be valuable for you too, you can start using them in your classes. And the other thing that I picked these 3 for is because they're very intuitive. The students needed almost no help on any of these 3. I presented a video in the learning lesson that kind of showed the beginning pieces of it, and then they just got in and they flew with it. Now I'm in a high school, so that's 9th through 12th grade. Majority of 9th graders were in that class though. So these are options I'd like you to just explore. I'm not going to take too much time here to go into them, because some of you may want to concentrate on one or the other, but I'll just go through the basics of each of them so you get a basic understanding, and then you can go and log into them and use them and see how they work, because again, they're very intuitive, and I have, of course, videos on here for you to use if you need help with anything. But the first one is Padlet, and Best Prep is actually using Padlet during their sessions as a reflection piece, but I would encourage you to use it as the leader of it as well. So it's an online virtual bulletin board or wall where you can collaborate and reflect on things. The nice thing that I liked about Padlet, if you looked at the features down below, is that they can join or they can create and invite you. And it can be either share the link to get on there, or you can actually invite. So if they are going to collaborate and work on a project together, that's a good place to do it. I've had students in school after I've worked with them in Padlet, and they go to their English class and they have to write a paper together or do a presentation together. They make a Padlet wall so that they can make the timeline on there, assign who's going to do each thing, and that way they can see all that. So it's just a very handy way to do a lot of collaboration. The other thing that is nice about it, let me close that up so we can see this easier. The other thing is that you can voice record right in Padlet. And I encourage you to maybe try that on the Best Prep one. Instead of typing your response, you can click on the video, and just like you do with Zoom and stuff, it'll pull up your camera and all that, and you can actually voice record right on there. So kind of like a Flipgrid, those of you that use the Flipgrid to introduce yourself, but it keeps it all on that wall, and it's very easy to find all of those. So I thought that was kind of nice as well. So you can see all the different things you can actually add on the Padlet, and when you get on Padlet, you just hit the little plus sign and all those will come up. The last thing that I actually learned, because I had never done it before, because I don't usually use Classroom, We are a Google school, so we do have Google Classroom, but I usually use Moodle for my classroom management. So during distance learning, it was really nice that from Padlet, they can go into the sharing options and share it right to an assignment in their Google Class. So on the assignment that they had to hand it in, they could go directly and do it right there. So that was very handy during the distance learning piece. So if any of you use Google Classroom, that is a definite benefit of using Padlet. But they can share it with a link, PDF, they can email it to you too. So a lot of different options. So if you want to look more at using Padlet, I encourage that. If you want to see a Padlet as an example, if you haven't before, I do have a link right on the heading there of Padlet that you can link on. I kind of skipped a piece. For you to get this document, I forgot to show you how to do that. So this document is on the TIW, and your specialist may have pointed this out during your Candy group, but under the TIW resources on the left-hand side, you can click on any of the resources that we have here. So anything that people are presenting, they're all here. So if you scroll and you see the presenting, storytelling, and online apps, if you click on that, it'll give you the document that I'm showing you. So you can have it yourself. You have the copy of it. And you can see all the other resources that are available too. And anything that was pre-recorded is on here. So you can see all of those. So if you would like this document, a copy of it for yourself, that's how you get that. Sorry, I forgot that. The second one,
Brenda, I'm
yes.
sorry. Is it okay that I raise a question as we go through?
Sure, for sure, yes.
So so let's say some of the other ones, you know, I didn't get a chance to get to this week. I still have access and can go and look and use any of those other sessions at any time?
Not just this week. This website will be available for a full year.
Oh, great.
So yes, any of those resources. So even if you're in this session, you can go see all those other resources and pull them up. People will come and find this one, and yeah, they're available for a full year.
Thank you.
And I'm not seeing how to click on your I mean, I see you presenting, but I'm not seeing how to click on this presentation on the side. It's not showing up for me.
So you need to go to the TIW website.
I'm on the website. I'm on the home page.
And then go to TIW resources, the fourth link on the left.
Oh, the resources will have it all. Okay, got it.
Yep,
Okay.
and then it's down under the Monday breakout sessions.
Got it. Okay, then I can see the entire thing. Perfect. All right.
Yeah.
I'll need help. And can any school get Padlet? Will I be able to do that through Minneapolis when we? Okay.
Yeah, it's open. I tried to put it the first bullet for each one. If you are a Microsoft suite or a Google suite, you can use your school accounts to do that. Otherwise, any regular email account works too.
Okay.
Yep.
Right. I'll have to play around with that. And I can connect it to my Google Classroom, right? I mean, I could connect it.
If you log in with your Google Suite account, yeah.
I don't know that we have Google Suite. I'm not sure we do, but okay.
Quick question, Brenda.
Sure.
I just went through and downloaded it, and it opened it up in Word, and it's
Yes.
not attaching any of the URLs. Is there a way that I should have opened it through Google somehow?
Well, I asked them to, because it is a Google Doc, I asked them to post a link to the Google Doc, and they, for some reason, made it into a Word doc. But I don't know why it wouldn't let you. Do you have enable editing up on the top? Does it say enable editing?
I did enable editing, yeah.
Okay. And it still doesn't let you go to the Padlet and get to the link or anything?
Nope, none of your links will link, which I know that's a bummer to hear.
Okay. When we're done here, I will grab your emails and I'll share my doc with you. I'll just go right to the doc and I'll just put them in right away.
Thank you.
Okay. So underneath each of those, I did do an explore section. So that's where there's generally going to be like a video you can watch too that I found that was helpful to point out. And then I did post some of my student samples. So from that class, the students gave me permission at the beginning of the class to use their materials. I do that in all of my classes, because if they create something that I want to hang up or, you know, show as samples, I make sure I get everybody's check off. So if you want to see what some of the kids made, there's some samples there. So I thought it was interesting. One of them did a timeline, another one did one where you got to scroll, and another one has pathways. So just a variety of ways to lay out Padlet, which is kind of neat too, that you can do that. The second one is actually a Microsoft product. I teach mostly Microsoft in my Office class. So I do a lot of Microsoft Office things. And Sway is their website. And it's really cool, at least I think it's really cool, because it is a website, but it is more simple than a Google Doc, if you can believe that. And again, it's ways for students to, whoa, no. Here we go. So this is an example of a Sway, and it just looks like a website. And I set it to scroll down. And so you can see I have pictures, I have text. And the cool thing is the different things you can do with pictures. So if you're doing something that is picture centered, I encourage you to look at Sway, because here's one picture thing where you can do a comparison. So if you're thinking this or that, like a young person, old person, you could do a comparison. There's another one where if they're telling a story, they can stack their pictures. So a lot of times on Google Slides, kids 15 pictures on a slide and you don't know which one they're talking about and that kind of thing. This is neat because all you do is click and it pulls the next picture up. So they would talk about whatever that picture is. So it's kind of a slideshow, but only one picture at a time, which is neat. That's a stacked pictures. And then they can do it in slides view too. So as if they were looking at a slideshow, here's one picture and then they got their arrows. But the nice thing is this, using Sway, you can have all of these different ways available. So I just thought it was really cool to be able to put all of those into one. And then the other thing that Sway has available is not just the images, but you can bring audios in, you can bring videos in, you can embed right in here. So I embedded some videos right in here. And so you don't have to be clicking and going to a different one and that type of thing. So you don't end up with all these windows open on the side. You just embed them all right in, which I thought was very handy. And then there is a video on the bottom here too with some pro tips on how to do some cool things. The other part of Sway is I did none of this formatting. You don't have to do any of the line making, the colors, the fonts, any of that. It's all pre-built into templates and you just pick a button and it does it all for you. And it switches it all very quickly. So if you head over to Sway to look at that, it's just kind of handy. And I like taking away the time consuming pieces for the kids, and that's what they end up wasting a lot of their time is. What color should I put in the background? What font should I do? What size of font should I do? And in here, all they do is click on a couple of buttons and it formats everything for them all at once. So it's really kind of handy and takes away that piece and they can concentrate on their content. So those are some of the features of Sway. And again, there's 3 videos for you if you would like to see those, and a couple student samples as well. And then the last one that I actually just started to use last year is called Canva. I know there's a learning management system called Canvas, so I get it mixed up once in a while. But Canva is the new social media creating like software or app. And it does everything under the sun. And again, it's got pre-built everything. So when you get into Canva, this is a sample that a student made that shows all the different things you can, or not, I shouldn't say that. It shows their version of what they liked about it. And why I picked this one to show you is because this is a poster. And you can create a poster, you can create videos, you can create stickers. There's hundreds of different templates for everything. And then you just add in all the little pieces. These are called elements. So elements of arrows, elements of pictures, your text, and those types of things. And the one thing to warn you about for Canva is if you do decide to work on Canva today, watch your clock, set an alarm for when you're going to be done, because you will be in there for hours. It's just so much fun, and it's so exciting to create things. You can create things so fast, though. It's just amazing. So think of it as not just social media, even though that's what they're using it for. I know I do Business Professionals of America, and one of the other teachers in my region she uses Canva, and she creates all of her social media posts for the year, EPA. And then she schedules them out on when they post. So she uses Canva to make them all. She puts the picture and the text in, and then she just saves them and schedules when they post to her social media sites. So it's really a handy tool to do that prep work. But like I said, it makes so many other things that you just can't imagine. If you scroll down or look at the features here that I have listed, these are all the different projects that I thought we could use as teachers. So the social media, the flyers, videos, logos, cards, and they have templates for all of this that, again, take no designing. You just change your text or change your pictures. And it's very, very helpful. The other thing was sharing that the catch with Canva is their pre-made templates, and the way they make their money is by charging you for the pictures that you are using. So if you use any pictures that they have, make sure you're checking to see if it's a free picture or if it's one you have to pay for. Again, you just delete the one you have to pay for, and you can upload your own and put your own in there, and then it's free. But that is one way that they kind of make their money, is to upsell you on use their pictures or use certain templates, but there really are so many that you will find a free one for sure. They also print directly out of there, or they will print for you too. So for example, like the stickers, if you want to print a set of 100 stickers of something, you can make your sticker and send it to them, and they will print it for you and ship it to you. So you do have that option as well. And then there's a couple more videos to watch about Canva if you would like, and then some student samples of why they liked Canva or what they thought about Canva. So I just wanted to give everybody a little heads up on what was available through, where am I going? I'm sorry, I ended up with too many screens now. There we go. So I wanted to point out the three, give you some insight into each of the three in this resource to look at those, and then just give you some time now to go ahead and jump into one, maybe create your account. And again, I would use your school email for all of those if you can. And then I will just hang out here to see if there are any questions from anybody as you are looking at anything. So feel free to go look around at any one or all three of those if you would like. And for the remainder of the session, I will be here if you have questions. All right. Enjoy exploring.
There's an option for marking our attendance on this one. I was just looking for it and I didn't see it. Are we supposed to be marking our attendance for these?
I thought there should be for breakouts.
Yeah, there was a way to mark attendance. I remember, I did see it. Under the agenda, you click under agenda, and when you first click on the session, you can mark attendance, I believe. Because I went back and did it for the other things. Actually,
Yeah,
I'm not sure on this.
Go back and do it for the other, so I'm just not
Yeah,
seeing
I'm not sure. I don't see how to do it on this one. No, I don't actually.
Yeah, I don't see it on here either.
Well,
I would, instead of that, then I would go to the badging
Mm-hmm.
and go down to Monday's session, day 1, breakout session day 1, and mark attendance there. Just hit
Got it.
complete and send. Don't know why we can't. Just out of curiosity, how many of you are going to be looking at Canva?
I've used Canva before. There's with students. There's another one that I use to do infographics that I've really enjoyed, and I'm actually blanking on the name right now. Let me see. Venngage is something that I've used with students to do infographics, and that's worked pretty well. But similar idea to what you're talking about of not having to worry about the formatting, and there's lots of free animations and graphics in there that the kids can use.
Yeah. That's what I really like that.
Yeah, I'll put that link in the chat if anybody wants to take a look at it.
Yeah, and if anybody wants me to share this Google Doc with them, then let's do that too. Go ahead and throw your name in the Google chat, and I will send that to you. I can find my chat screen. Christine, can you put your mail that you would like me to share it to?
Sure.
Annette too, please. There we go. Thanks. Oops. Has anybody here used Sway before, or thoughts on Sway?
This is Molly, and I've never used Sway, and I'm on it right now, just kind of looking at different templates, and it looks very interesting. I've used Canva a lot. I love that, and I have not used Padlet, and so I'm excited to try Padlet and Sway. And right now, I'm currently working on Sway, trying to kind of figure it out.
gonna hop into my account here. You think I can remember what my password is? The thing with Sway is, remember, it is a website without links. It's just the new scrolling website. Anybody else have this problem at the end of summer? You forget what all your passwords were for you? Oh. Let's try this. The other thing with Sway, for those of you looking at that one, there is a start from a document option too, which is kind of handy. So if you already have like a Google Slides or a PowerPoint, I think a few of those different things work from starting with that, and then it takes it and it formats it and puts it in line for you.
So you could take a PowerPoint or a Google slide that you already have and like import it into Sway?
Yep, you need to download it into a file here. I clicked on start from a document, and then it brings me to my desktop or whatever so that I can upload it. So as long as you can get to it in your files.
Sure, I see that.
Yeah.
That's great.
So even, I mean, I know students that keep telling me, I see Google slide after Google slide from teacher after teacher, and it's all the same design.
Right.
You know, just throwing it up here and then being able to add some of those special picture things, again, the comparison or the stacking, and that is
right.
kind of cool. And the key in Sway is you have the storyline view, so that's where you're putting your content. And you just keep hitting the plus sign to add the next thing down. Like I want an image next. And all the images they give you in Sway are Creative Commons. So you don't have to worry about breaking anything unless you go and search for something else. But if you use something built in Sway, it is Creative Commons for you. And again, the saving of the formatting, you just hit emphasize and it changes it to bold and that type of stuff, or you hit accent and it changes it to, so it limits that formatting and takes away a lot of that wasted time from students. Drag and drop. And then once you're done with your storyline, adding all the different things, you go to design, and that's where then you will see it. And you can change styles and all of your different things over there. So for Sway, you've got your storyline, which is putting the content in, and then design is how it looks.
Okay, so storyline is content and design is just making it pretty.
Yeah, deciding on the right-hand side when you're on the design page, your styles button opens everything up on the right. So you can either view it vertically or horizontally too, or like slides. So you do have 3 options. And then you just pick something and it adds all the coloring and everything for you. So you don't have to worry about text box colors or anything like that. You just pick something pre-made. It'll add in a background. If you scroll down, there's backgrounds on some of them. And there's arrows to flip through. So there's not just the 20 or so you see. You can flip through and find really creative ones. Anybody working on Padlet? Trying Padlet out? I could hop over there and show you if you're looking at anything.
If I were going to make a like a poster of information to just about myself, what would be the best format to use?
For between the 3 apps that I showed you, if I was going to do a poster, I would do Canva.
Yep, and so just go into the poster area?
Yep.
Okay.
So the other thing with Canva to remember is the search bar is very helpful. So if you want to do like an introduction poster, like you can even get detailed like that, and then it will kind of pull up things that it thinks will really fit your exact type of poster. So instead of just saying poster, because there's thousands of poster options.
That makes sense.
Yeah, and then like this soccer match one on my screen is one that I would pick because I can see I can put a few different things about me. My name has a good place, a picture of me.
So you you searched introduction poster?
That's what I did, yeah.
Okay.
So when I'm looking at templates, I look at, do they have enough places for me to put the text that I want to put on there? You know, like I see a live green poster right here, but there's like no text. So I would have to make a lot of text boxes and figure out where to lay them and that kind of thing, where I'd rather take one that has a lot of text boxes if I need a lot of text. So that's preset and pre-laid out for me. And then once you pick one on the left, elements is kind of the key one that you're probably looking for on the left-hand side. You can change your background over there too, but the elements is where you have all the little stickers. You can put pictures in different grids, add some shapes. So the elements is the one that has all the fun stuff, the kids state. I usually try to limit how many elements they can put on. I'll tell them no more than 5 elements allowed on this project. Otherwise, they'll sit there with arrows and stuff all over the place and it'll drive you nuts. Because they like to play in there. And then for those of you that are in the Canva, the bottom and the scroll bar on the left under the more is where you can integrate it with your other apps. So like I said, the other BPA teacher, she posts hers right onto Facebook and then they go onto Instagram too, because she's got those linked. So she integrates right onto her Facebook and they post right on there. And
Do you have to have an educator account with Canva, or can you just sign up without?
You can just sign up.
Applying for an educator account. Okay.
No, just sign up.
Okay. I will try again.
So I have a question about sharing these. Sorry, hi, I'm
Which
Danielle.
app are you in, Danielle?
I'm sorry, I'm on Canva
Okay.
as well. My students are 6th graders and not all of them can get on. Well, they are, but technically they're not supposed to be on Facebook or Instagram. So how then would I share them? Do you have any
Up on the
ideas?
top, on the bar at the top where you have the home and the file and all that, there's the share out towards the right. There's also a download arrow. So if they
Thank
could
you.
download it and then upload it to your learning management, or under the share, they can mail.
Great, thank you.
What I usually do in my classes is I have a document pre-set up that they know how to get to that has their name on it. And I have them usually copy the link for the share and paste that on that doc. So that way when I'm looking at them, I have this one spreadsheet and I have all the links, like all 36 of my students, I have them all in one place. I don't have 36 emails to go find. So that's one thing I do too. And especially when I let them choose what app to use, it's much easier because you can always do a copy share link in all the apps. And so that's a tip too, is
Okay,
have them
so you can
with
share it
that
with
way.
your whole class, and once they click on it, they'll be in. Share the link.
Yep.
Okay.
Do you mind clarifying, you do one for each individual student or you just do one?
I make a spreadsheet that has every kid's name on it.
Okay.
So then they click on this copy share link and it says copied. And then I'll just open my Word doc and pretend. So then I tell them you click on, highlight your name, and then you, it's easier on a spreadsheet. I don't have a spreadsheet open though. And then you just insert link.
Okay.
Is their link. So that way their name is the link to their project.
Okay.
Okay.
Or they could put it next to it too in a spreadsheet. They could just paste, I suppose, instead of, I try to teach them that you never want to put a link on anything because it's just a lot of missing text. You always want it to have a text that has the link in it. So, but I'm in high school too, so that's different.
Do you have an example of what your spreadsheet looks like?
Oh, I can show you this one that, so it will look similar to this, where their names would be here. And this is if you just want them to paste. So they would paste, paste, paste. They just paste their link next to their name.
Okay.
But I try to teach my kids, you click here, insert link, and paste it on there.
that makes more sense. I mean, it makes more sense. I was thinking I would have to go in and do separate ones for each of them, but they actually make the link.
Yeah, you just share this document with them.
Okay,
This is
thank
where
you.
they hand it in.
Okay.
And I keep the same one for all their projects. So like we're set here, I would put Canva project, Padlet project. And they just, so it's always the same document. They're just, all their work is right there.
Okay.
Well, our time is almost up, believe it or not, already. This just flies right by. Hopefully you're able to at least get in one of those apps and kind of just start taking a look at it. If you have any questions on it at all throughout the whole TIW, just a reminder that on the TIW Spot Me site, if you go into the office hours this afternoon and you have a question for me, you can come right into my Reese's Pieces office hours. I do have some one-on-one meetings set up, but you can just pop in and say you would like to meet. The other option, if you would like to meet with somebody, either a technology specialist or any other participants, is you can click on the meetings button on the scroll bar on the left on the directory there. And then you can set up your own meeting with people. So every participant is added in here. So when you click on the meetings page and hit the plus sign, and you go to the add participant, so like if you start typing my name, oh, apparently it's only participants. I thought you could do it with me too. But any participant, if you know their first name or last name, you can type it and you can invite them to a meeting. So I guess if it's a participant, you need to use this new meeting. I'm learning as I go. And if you would like to meet with me on the agenda, you can pop into my specialist office hours. And anytime throughout the year, you can send me an email too. So feel free to contact me at any time. I will offer any help I can for any of these apps. Any questions before we head out to our break? All right, so the remainder of the day then, as a reminder, is you got a little break now, grab some lunch probably, and then you have office hours that are available for any of us specialists. And this afternoon is time for you to work on your unit plans. So hopefully you are feeling comfortable with that. Otherwise, we will see you tomorrow morning. So any last final questions? Otherwise, you're free to go and I'll see you later. Christine, that is a beautiful picture.